I'm also right now being joined by Dr. Amrit Patajoshi. He's the Secretary of the Indian Psychiatric Society and the Joint Secretary of SAARC Psychiatric Federation. Thank you very much for joining us. And my first question about how do you view that NewsX has launched a campaign, and this campaign is to appeal the Indian Medical Association, the Union Health Ministry and the ICMR to conduct India's largest ever psychological study into the minds of rapists. Now, would you be willing to extend your support to this campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. As a secretary of the Indian Psychiatric Society and as an individual member of the group, as well as a doctor or a psychiatrist and as a father, I would be 100% in support of the initiative you have taken, and I would like to congratulate you for this.
Thank you so much. Do you think that psychological profiling of rapists can help the law enforcement agencies in both post facto and pre facto action in reducing the chances of rapes happening in the country?
I think profiling of sexual predators would lead to the creation of more accurate policies and laws to prevent rapes and sexual assault, as well as to take proper action later on once a crime has been committed. But I think it should not be basically based on assumptions, intuitions or anecdotal evidence. We need to collect and analyze data on a wide range of variables, including the demographic characteristics of the offenders, their criminal histories, the circumstances surrounding their crimes and their psychological profiles. Why it is important is because many of the crimes are done on the spur of the moment. You know, there are a lot of things that make somebody think of doing such things, but there are certain triggers which might lead to such acts being occurred. So the whole study, the whole analysis should be based on these things. And if you do a proper analysis, it would reveal common patterns and factors that contribute to sexual offending, such as a specific personality type. We can understand which personality type is more liable to do such things. Environmental triggers, which I was speaking about, or we also see people who are abusing, who are sexual offenders, have also been offended or have been abused in their childhood. These information would then be used to refine risk assessment tools. So we can do risk assessment tools of who are more liable to do these things. We can identify potential offenders before they commit crimes and develop targeted interventions. So what we can do is we can also, it's not just about catching them, we can also intervene them such that such thoughts do not come, and even if such thoughts come, they would not indulge in such heinous activities. That's very important. And it would lead to better laws. You know, for instance, legal definition of sexual crime could be updated to reflect the nuances revealed by profiling studies, ensuring that laws are comprehensive and inclusive of the various forms of sexual violence. We are just concerned about rape, but there are a lot of things that are going on. And if you look at online, what is going on, times are changing, the way people sexual behavior is changing, the way people are, becoming predators online also is very important. So the laws have to be according to how the things are changing. That has to be dynamic and that has to be inclusive. So I think that is very important. Policies and laws have to align and be in tune with the changing time.
How do you feel that such profiling then can be conducted in our country? Can the Indian Psychiatric Society help government agencies in fulfilling these goals?
First of all, let me tell you, there are two different aspects of all these things. One is a criminal psychology part, one is a criminal profiling part. So if you look at forensic psychology or criminal psychology, I think as psychiatrists, the Indian Psychiatric Society, which encompasses 10,000 psychiatrists and the second biggest psychiatric association in the world, would love to contribute in any way that is possible to help prevent such crimes. And if somebody has done something, to help the victims as well as make corrective measures so that because if you look at sexual offenders, they are habitual offenders. They do it regularly. A few number of people to large number of acts, and that is very repetitive. So we can intervene, we can make sure that they don't repeat the same mistakes. And as the society, we are very, very open to profiling of individuals. Maybe look at the personality traits, look at the people who are more vulnerable to such acts, including people who have been abused, people who are into substance, people who come from broken families, people who have low self-esteem. A lot of people do this, to show that they are they want to show their dominance. We need to change basic fabrics of society also. The way we look down on our females, the way we look at our females, if they wear little, the so-called modern dressing sense, they feel that this is an invitation to do whatever they feel like doing. I think the whole mindset has to change. We have to get into the minds of the male. We have to change the social fabric. We have to make it more equal. We have to make sure that girls have a say. We have to teach our boys that we are not the dominant, gender. We both are equal. We need to respect our females. We need to respect consent. We need to respect that the girl can be better than us in many respects. And I think that is where the whole thing is coming. And I see a lot of people who are into sexual offense have, the misconceived ideas about sexuality. A lot of people think that if they rape somebody or do something like this, the sexual, potency will improve. I think there are a lot of things that go on in our country, and we need to change the whole fabric of our society. And unless we do that, whatever profiling we do, because many of the people come from our rural areas, many of the people come from poor families, and they are not always under the scrutiny of their guardians or families or friends. There are a lot of migrants who come to cities. So it's a very mixed bag. I think whatever can help the society, whatever can help in reduction of such crime, whatever can help the victims in getting back to their feet. And one aspect I forgot to tell you is the profiling of the victims is also very important. We need to understand how does the perpetrator understand that this might be my victim. What are the traits they see in somebody when they think of doing something like this? It's not that they do it with everybody. They also choose and pick their victims. At one aspect, there is an impulsivity. They see somebody and they feel that they should do. And in another aspect, there is also a lot of planning going on. So we need to understand the whole profiling of the victims are also important. Not in terms of defaming them, not in terms of putting that, but what are the risk factors? Who are the people who are more liable to be, because we see a pattern. Somebody who is abusing is repeatedly abusing, and somebody who has been abused has been repeatedly abused by multiple people. And that's what studies tell, and that's what my clinical practice also tells. I think we need to look at both aspects also, so that we can work on the people who are more liable to be, abused, and at the other end we also need to work on the people who are going to be the abusers. I think what you are doing goes a long way. We are going to do, if you want us to analyze data, if you want to provide us with data, we can work together. We can work, all of us can work together in making our whole country a safer and a more livable place.
You are also the Joint Secretary of the SAARC Psychiatric Federation. Can a large-scale study in India help in sharing the findings with SAARC nations and help build better policies in this regard?
Now, what I want to tell you is that you are very, very right. Because if you look at the whole southeastern population, we share certain similar cultural, similar thought processes. We are united by certain things. So maybe we can combine together to work on the profiling. We can analyze the data and share it with the SAARC countries, and maybe do workshops with them, enlighten them, give them better understanding of how to go about such things. And maybe that will go a long way in preventing such crimes happening in their countries. As the elder big brother in this region, we have our responsibilities also. And I think we are open to collaborating with them, helping them, and making their place also a safer.
Now, would you make an appeal to the Government of India on behalf of the Indian Psychiatric Society to launch this study?
As I told you, we are very, very open to whatever will help our society. We are ready to walk the extra mile. And if we have a good document, and we can work on the whole evidence that goes on in profiling, because a lot of things have been done by the FBI. FBI has a very, very good unit which works on it. And I think in India we lack such unit. We can always have a unit. We can always work on it. Results are never guaranteed in this world, but if you make efforts, we can always do it. And we would be, if everybody is online with this, we can discuss it with our executive council, which is the cabinet of the IPS, and maybe we can put forward any letter you want to the government to start somewhere, something to make everybody believe that yes, we are serious about all these things. We are not just, sharing posts on Insta or lighting candles. We are also ready to hold hands and walk the extra mile with whomsoever is the victim or the sufferer in this case. So we are always ready, sir.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.